Boxing Lowdown. I'm here with my guy Dillian Whyte. Now listen man, my followers are going to be really happy because we've been trying to track you down for a while.
Okay.
Big followers of yourself, Dillian Whyte. And I know that the information will be quite sensitive right now, but just wanted to ask, how is Dillian getting on?
He's alright man, he's obviously frustrated. You know, can't say too much at the minute. Just raring to go again, you know, like he became interim world champion and he can't really bask in that glory and enjoy that because what's come out, and now he's just got to keep himself low and trying to keep his mindset, keep the right frame of mind, you know, because you know, boxing is a hard game as it is. You know, as human beings you do get emotional, either winning or losing, or you know what I mean, sitting at home and not knowing what the future may hold, and you know, just thinking this is, you know, this isn't good because I've grafted and worked my socks off, as people can see on social media, and for them to come out with this stuff, it's just, you know, it's devastating and hurting to him, you know what I mean. And then we've got a lot of fans turning on him, but the majority are showing so much love and support, which is really good, because I get a lot of messages and stuff asking about him. So right now he's just, you know, earlier times he was a little bit more down. Now, you know, I've got him out, we're going to the gym, he's got in that mindset, he's training himself a little bit more. But then there's moments where he's just like, you know, he just wants things to go, and him to be able to go and you know, get himself prepared for another fight and enjoy those great moments we have at the O2, you know.
I mean, as an older bro, I mean, you've seen it, you've been there from the graph, from the beginning. Him having to, you know, Oscar Rivas, very tough fight, gritty battle, 12 rounds, as many of us predicted. He pulled through that, all to become the WBC interim champion, and then for that to be, well, suspended, I believe it is.
Class,
I mean, how hard was it for you to lift up his spirits after that?
Do you know what? In the changing room, everyone was kind of happy and so on, and then obviously when reality started to dawn on what was going on, and it started to come out, that gentleman announced it on his site, and then it came out. It was pretty like, what the hell's going on, you know? And thought, obviously, because they had the hearing and the evidence he provided at the time, the British Boxing Board, and they were happy to let him fight. We thought maybe, you know, they would sort it out between themselves and maybe we'd get through it and without all of the showcase. Because if you notice, Huey Fury and Tyson Fury had a similar case, and it went under the radar for years before anyone even knew about it. Obviously, but that shows you different strokes for different folks, you know. And then someone's obviously leaked it, someone possibly in the British Boxing Board of Control. Like Frank Warren said, some people there said they wasn't happy with the decision to let the fight go ahead. So clearly someone's, you know, let the cat out of the bag and didn't give him his chance to fight his case in private, to clear himself, and then we wouldn't have all this big situation where people are, you know, in uproar and talking about Rivas didn't get a chance to know about the test and whatever. But obviously at the same time, what you got to understand is they had a hearing and all the evidence was heard, and they let them fight on, so people need to look at that. And listen, if they let that fight go on, that's for good reason. In this day and age, if someone's got a failed test, it's a failed test and there is no fight. Pure and simple. So once you get to that situation, you know there has to be good evidence and good standing for that to occur. So it's just upsetting, you know. We've just got to stay strong and just kind of as a team, as a family, and just kind of just keep him in a positive mindset as much as we can, you know. And then hopefully he'll get out there at the end of the year somewhat.
That was going to be my next question. Do you have like a timeline of events as to when, you know, like there's been rumours going around about this B sample, and I mean I don't really know much about it, but do you have an idea as to when, you know, his name can finally get in the clear and then we can just go forward instead of having to worry about this? I'm
not totally sure, but I reckon in the next few weeks, September's right around the corner, next few weeks we'll be in September, and I believe, you know, we should hopefully be hearing something shortly. I'm not going to pretend to know like I've got the answers, but I believe in September we might have start to get a little bit more of a clearer indication, and hopefully he'll be able to get out there by ending of October, November, because the time is dwindling down, you know. So for him to get something out there, then he needs to announce a fight, and then you need preparation for that fight. So, and you don't want it to clash with December the 7th with Joshua and Ruiz. So
well, let's talk about yourself for a little while. I mean, now I know you've got like a management company, you manage boxers now. How did you get into that? Was that something that you always wanted to do?
I think it was just a natural progressive step in terms of, like, you know, guiding my bro, advising him, sparring with him, training with him from kickboxing into boxing. you know. So when we came into this, giving them advice, talking about where we should go. Should we go to American train? Should we get an American trainer? Should we go and spar in America? Oh, let's try and get into a strength and conditioning structure and stuff, and do it a little bit different, you know what I mean? So we used to, it's quite weird that you were here actually. We used to come here in the morning, 7 o'clock, and do sprints. And what we used to do, he used to have like a small car. So what we'd do is we'd do sprints and push the car back and forward in this car park right here. Film the car park, show them, buddy. Get the car park right there. It's quite weird. It's coming back to this. I haven't probably been here since that time.
Oh, really? Wow.
And that was early days when we were just like, like you kind of make stuff up as you go. Like obviously we know boxer sprint, but you used to see strongman pushing cars, and you think, well, it's a sort of a strength and conditioning thing. So we used to just do it ourselves, make it up, you push it that way, and then kind of run back. And that was the early days, like probably these early fights. It's quite weird. And then now fast forward many years later that we're here in the same park. Coincidental, but no.
Done well with him. You've got Richard Reactor. I mean, there's other fighters coming
John
through.
Harding Jr. So that was, like I said, I think I went off the path a little bit, and I got good thing you caught me. I was like, oh, bring back memories, you know. So basically, it was inevitable because it's like I came from Muay Thai, competed, did wrestling a little bit, did a few boxing fights, and I started everything a bit late, and then I just thought, I thought about fighting, and then I thought, well, I don't know, these guys are kind of animals that, maybe my side wasn't meant to be in the ring so much, you know. So I liked mentoring, talking to people about it. I did like the sparring factor and competing a bit, but I just didn't have that hunger and desire for it as some of my guys did, in terms of where they were coming from, because you need that passion to get into fighting, to say I want to be a world champion, I want to make money, I want to do this. I didn't have none of those things. So what it was is I got into the other side in terms of guiding people and being an advisor, being a mentor, talking to. So I like that. I like the communication side, being with people and say, oh, I want to get into boxing. Can you come down to the gym and show me what I'm doing right or what I'm doing wrong? So that's how that kind of side came about. And then we kind of, I think the first one was Richard, and then there was a few others, Fabio and John and a few others, and then obviously I still wanted to be a little bit more hands-on, so I thought, let me do my own thing as well. So for me, I can kind of make sure my guys fight the people I want to fight, and I'm there virtually all the step of the way, over everything, to make sure, because like these people, when you're looking after someone, it's like it's somewhat not like a father figure issue in terms of like you're guiding them, because if something goes wrong with them, you could be harmed very well in the ring. So you've got to be that father figure and mentor and guide them correctly through strength and conditioning, through eating, and I just give them the experience I've had coming up with my bro from everything. So for me, that's how I found it, and I just like that. So I'm in the gym, I'm over there, and it's what's happened is now it's brought me back to that again. So now I'm getting a lot more passion for like boxing and training again, because I'm in the gym with a lot of younger guys, and I'm looking for people, to sign and so on and be around. So it's just a love of the sport, really, man.
It must be very rewarding to take a guy off the streets or off the roads and get them in the boxing gym and see their progression. It must be also rewarding for yourself.
100%. It is, but it's very difficult because you've got guys off the road who are making money. So sometimes yet again you've got the factor where the desire isn't there for them. So it's rewarding when you can definitely get them out of that and they see the vision and they can see where boxing is today, or football. Even I have young guys, which was football. I used to do a little things with my cousin who was at Chelsea. He's at various different teams. He's at Birmingham now. He's at Brighton, and I bring him around. I bring him to the fights, and I show him, what you can have. Like fancy car, watch, clothes, all those things. This could be a part of that when you work hard and you're disciplined. And it's the same with boxers. Some of them they make money, so some of this for them, they don't have that passion, desire, but then you get the ones that do. So it's very rewarding when they say, you know what, I'm going to put all my energy into this, and I'm going to pay attention, and I'm going to give it a good shot and try and get to the big time, because I believe I've got what it takes. I've got the charisma, I've got the character and desire, and that's really what it is.
That's what you need, Well, I know I can't take too much of your time, so I'm just going to ask these last questions before I go. Got some big fights coming up. Let's start off with the heavyweight division first. Obviously we've got Fury going up against Otto Wallin. Presumably he comes through that and he takes on Wilder next. How do you see the rematch going there? And also, what are your thoughts on the rematch between Joshua and Ruiz taking place in Saudi Arabia?
Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change it just a little bit.
Okay.
Big up my guy Shakan Pitters fighting for the English title September the 14th. Be there, be square. Guys, tune in, log in, go watch that out. Yeah, from Birmingham. Boom. On the same day, it's Tyson Fury in Las Vegas against Wallin.
Do you know much about Wallin?
No, I don't. I know Joshua fought him as an amateur and beat him. But what I grasp what Tyson Fury is doing. Because what happened now with Tyson Fury was he came back out of a 2.5-3 year layoff and he went and fought Deontay Wilder, the most feared and dangerous man, big puncher, and nearly and beat him in many people's eyes, or nearly beat him in the world's eyes as well, because obviously it was close. They gave it a draw. And actually I bet some money on the draw. I won some good money.
Oh, that's decent. Got good money on that.
Yeah, no, because the odds were great. So you always got to put your money. When the odds are great, so you just chance it. If I lose it, I lose it. But this, what he's done, which is very smart. Deontay Wilder's like 6'7", 6'8". A lot of these guys he's fighting are 6'7", 6'8" to gauge distance, range, for him to practice stuff. But the funny thing, the only thing I'd say about it, he's not getting enough rounds out of it for me, so he's learning. But I think, you know, because the guy he fought before was a big guy, tall, same kind of stature, went second round and got him out of there. I don't know what really he got out of that. Maybe he got from that was the occasion, the media side, walking to the ring, the nerves, or whatever it was. I don't know what it was, because he didn't get much rounds. Now this guy is similar structure, tall, but the guys ain't got no power, so it is a bit confusing. But then obviously, I suppose you can't get the height with the power and all of that anyway. So he's got another guy similar on structure. He's going to go in there, and what he's going to try and maybe work on is long range, medium range, and just trying to slip and just trying to get used to being in the ring, activity. Because remember, he's been out for such a long time. Inactivity plays a big part. So yet again, this is going to be, from the time he fought him, this will be another occasion where he's gone to the ring. He's had ring time. He's had a training camp. He's going to be a lot better. He's going to be a lot better. He's going to be fitter. He's going to be sharper. He's going to have loads of benefits, what he didn't have in that fight. But then, on the flip side, we've got Wilder, who's been there, seen it now with him. He knows what to do. He knows he's got the power. He always believed he had the power in the first place, but he knows he's got the power because he caught him twice. Late on in the fight, dropped him, and then he got up and he managed to see out the round and see out the fight. But then what Deontay might come in and say, listen, if I start a lot more earlier, if I catch him with those shots earlier, later on it will take more out of his tank, so maybe he won't survive. So now he knows that, well, two things. Fury, he's not impossible to hit, because I caught him twice and I floored him twice. I've got the power. What it is, if I start early enough, maybe I can get him out of there. So I believe we might have Deontay Wilder start a lot aggressiver, a lot sharper, a lot faster, and try to get him out of there. Because sometimes when you fight people, the second time is more devastating, like he did with Bermane Stiverne, when that's the only guy who went the distance. In that fight, he came out and just poleaxed him. So in the Ortiz fight, you're either going to get two things. Ortiz is going to be better and win, or you're going to get Deontay Wilder's going to come out early and poleaxe this guy as well, because he's going to say, listen, okay, I've watched this fight and I've analysed it and I was too respectful. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to be so respectful, I'm not going to be so calm, I'm going to come out and try and blitz this fella. And I think that's what you'd have on the two flip sides of one of these coins. How about Joshua and Ruiz in Saudi Arabia? Follow the money, man. Like Uncle T says, man, shit, man, these people, they
Dillian Whyte got enough to Saudi Arabia, would you advise him to go out there?
Well, listen, that is some big loot. I'm sure I wouldn't need to tell him too much about that. He'd be saying, listen, hey, you guys meet me there, I'm out, you know, like that. So yeah, Joshua's followed the money, I get it. Obviously what you got to look at is, if he made the fight here, he might have made 30, maybe 40 million. Over there they're saying 70 million to 100 million. It's a no-brainer, you know what I mean? But Andy now, he's grown a brain. He's bought himself a Rolls Royce. He's bought himself a fancy new mansion. Tour of his mansion, you know. So what? I think his money's pretty low. So he's like saying, buddy, I might have signed a contract, but I'm nobody's mug. I whooped your ass, but listen, here what? I need a bit more of the pie. I heard what's on the table. Give me a bit more of that pie. Let this fat boy live, and I'm gonna come whoop your ass. But I heard he's saying, let's do it back in New York. I want to go to Saudi. I don't mind it being out there, maybe a hot country, a bit different. Christmas time is a bit tight for a lot of people, but I would go. I'd probably, it's pretty cheap for the tickets anyway, 300-400.
Experience.
Yeah, so it'd be a great experience to go there and show support to your fellow countrymen. And there's a few guys who I'm trying to work with who fight in Saudi Arabia quite a lot, and they've got big fan bases, so I'm trying to get them on the card. So I've been talking to Joshua's team to see if that can work, so let's see. But we need something concrete nailed down with Andy so I can book my flight and get out there.
Yeah, definitely, man. Last question. Another fight coming up. One I'm really looking forward to.
Okay.
Yarde against Kovalev. I spoke to Tunde a couple of weeks ago. Them guys are so focused and ready. How do you see it going, man? Are you backing Yarde all the way?
I'm definitely going to back Yarde, man. I like Tunde, I like Yarde. You know, they're English guys as well. You got to root for our people.
Sure.
Most times, there's only one occasion that I don't, but hey, I won't go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, mainly we've got to root for our guys, man. It is a tough fight. I talked about it today about, you know, when you look at the comparison of the guys they fought, Kovalev has fought a list of who is who in 175 division. He had all the belts at one stage. What was he, unified champ before or something?
Champ, yeah.
And he was the crusher. He actually killed someone in the ring.
Killed someone.
Big punch. They always say the power is the last thing to go from a fighter. So Yarde's got it all to do. When you look at Yarde's fights, I looked at the stats today and it's mad. A lot of the guys who covered his last fought, there was undefeated, one loss, and Yarde, some of them are 7, some of them are 6, some of them are 5 and 3, and so on. But listen, Yarde, he's a talent. He's a very, very good talent. He looks well. He's got power against those kind of level. Let's see if he is with the elite of the elite. I'm gonna go with him, and I'm gonna say I hope he wins Saturday night. He's a UK guy. I want him to do it. I believe early he's got to be defensively sound, keep his shape, and go out there and be smart. Because listen, those guys in Russia, he's gonna have the cauldron behind him. They're gonna be screaming.
Yeah.
He's gonna have it all to do. It's an uphill battle for him. So if he goes out there, keeps his shape, he's got power. Let's see how Kovalev reacts when that power hits him on the biscuit.
Yeah.
But what Kovalev has got, he's got a good jab and he's got the experience, and he's got home ground turf. So listen, I'm gonna go for a Yarde win. Come on, my guy. Lions in the camp in Russia. He called you a kitten. Don't let that lie. Don't let that slide. The teeth of luggage. Don't let that slip knee down. Beat that boy. Boss up him.
Dean, thanks for talking to us, man.
No, love, man. Thanks very much.
Respect.
Yeah? All right.